Welcome to Straight Talk, Real Results, where we cut the fluff, break down the industry, and bring a little humor to a process that doesn't have to be so complicated. I'm your host, Lauren Straight with Lauren Straight Real Estate and Realty One Group. Hi, everyone. You're listening to Straight Talk, Real Results, the podcast where we break down the industry, share real advice, and still find a way to bring a smile along the way. I'm your host, Lauren Straight from Lauren Straight Real Estate and Realty One Group. Today, I'm so thrilled to be talking with Michelle Cornelius, Executive Director at Cave Creek Assisted Living. Michelle helps seniors and families navigate a world of options that makes transitions easier and more meaningful. Welcome to the show, Michelle.
Thank you. It is so fun to be here.
I know Michelle from a previous life in PR. I did a lot of healthcare and home care, and we worked together for Bob Roth and Cypress. So I'm so excited that our paths have crossed in this new industry and field.
Yeah, it is a much smaller world than we realize.
Right? It is. So today we're going to discuss important topics around senior housing, what to look for, and after hearing all about the incredible amenities, you might even start thinking about moving in yourself. Maybe even before your parents or your aging loved ones. So don't worry, we'll keep it informative and have some fun and do some fun things today. So all right, so before we dive in, Miss Michelle, tell us a little bit about yourself and how did you get started in senior care?
Yeah, by accident. And when I talk to people, a lot of folks say the same thing. They get into this field by accident. And I find it true, like even now we talk to young folks and very few people are like, oh, I want to work with old people. I mean, and the older I get, the younger those old people are.
Okay.
Much
I
closer.
love that.
I'm a social worker, and I went into social work intending to work with high school kids. And when I went to graduate school at ASU, I then moved out to San Francisco. And because I had one class in substance abuse during my master's degree, I was working at a methadone clinic in downtown San Francisco with heroin addicts. I absolutely honor the people who can do that because it was not work that I was skilled at.
Sure.
And so I found another job down further south in the San Jose Bay, just north of San Jose, I guess, and working at a nursing home there as a social worker. And social workers in nursing homes at the time, this was the late 90s, mid 90s, did a lot of just paperwork. And there was a lot of care plans and Medicare accountability kinds of things. And we're close in California to the ombudsmen, who every state has ombudsmen. They're advocates. They kind of help people navigate different things. And in California, the communities were very close to the ombudsman. And my ombudsman came in one day and said, hey, there's a skilled nursing down the street opening up a dementia unit. They had 4 wings. They were making one wing into a dementia unit, and they need a director. And I told the executive director he has to interview you before he can make the choice.
Wow, that's awesome.
Great to have good relationships.
For sure.
And I knew very little about dementia at the time. My great-grandfather, my dad's maternal father, great-grandfather on that side, had dementia. But I was, like junior high, maybe late elementary school. So I didn't know a whole lot about it. I knew that, I remembered my grandmother, his daughter, saying, if I ever get this, just shoot me. I remember him getting lost, like driving. I remember kind of the strain on my grandparents, but that's all I really knew. And, but my mother had just graduated with a master's in speech pathology, and she had a book on dementia, and she overnight mailed it to me because this was in the 90s. I didn't have a home computer,
Sure.
and the phones didn't do what they do now.
Right.
And so I read the book the next night, and I interviewed, and I got the job.
Wow, that is so cool.
It's amazing. And I really think what got me the job is that one of the questions they asked was about reality orientation. And do we force the person with a cognitive impairment to live in our world, or do we join them in their own? And at the time, yes, we did reality orient.
Sure.
And the book was kind of state of the art. She had just finished her master's program, and it said, no, don't. Live
don't.
in their reality.
Yeah.
And I truly think that's what got me the job. And that was 25 years ago.
Wow.
And so here we are. I fell into it by accident and found a passion I never expected.
I just love that. And I feel like that is pretty on point with, you know, senior care and in working with our senior community. I too kind of fell into that passion by accident. So, you know, became a caregiver for my grandfather for 5 years. And then in the middle of that was a caregiver for my own father before he passed. And I walked through all the pain points that goes along with aging and managing, you know, the VA, the Medicare, the Medicaid. Do you sell your house? Do we do a reverse mortgage? How do we transition into an assisted living or a memory care? What are our options?
Right.
And if I could help alleviate one pain point for families,
right.
Even in the real estate industry, that's kind of, I'm aligned with you on that. So, and I love that.
Because I do think too many families have that, are caregivers and have that same idea of like, oh my gosh, I never want to put somebody through this. Just shoot me like my grandmother did. And it's a horrible way to look at things. And when she did have dementia, we did not shoot her. We love her dearly. Well taken care of.
Right.
But so much has changed in how we can help people. And there's so much more available now. There's more knowledge about it.
Yes.
We're discussing it a lot more. And so I really see how the trend is changing, that even things like people can log in and listen to a podcast.
Exactly.
And get some information,
Yeah.
even if they're not ready for some of the other supports that are out there yet.
Yes.
That the more we talk about it, the less stigma there is around it.
I agree. And I think that, you know, don't wait till it's too late. Like, start educating yourselves now as adult children of adult aging parents. Like, don't wait till it's too late, because then that stress level is just so much worse. So that's my goal too, is let's empower people my age who are that sandwich generation of dealing with your own children, but also dealing with your aging parents, and how can we help them. So good to know. Okay, so I want to ask a fun icebreaker. What is a one fun fact or a quirky skill that most people don't know about you?
This is a hard one. And you know, Lauren gives this little questionnaire sheet, and I've been thinking about it, and I hate the fun fact question. That even when I'm doing
pretty talented,
orientation and training, I'm like, give me a boring fact. Or not boring, because it's much easier to come up with something like that. And a part of it is I'm kind of an open book, so people know a lot about me.
Sure. 100%.
But I mean, just some interesting things. When I was very young, second and third grade, we lived in Germany for 1.5 years. Which
cool.
was amazing.
Okay.
I don't speak German really anymore.
Okay.
But that is kind of one of those things. And then something that people who know me well, our friends and family, know is I love to cook.
Okay.
I am a foodie, and we're known for the food and the parties.
You know, that's great. I'm a foodie too. I mean, my son is in culinary right now.
Oh, that's great.
I'm excited for Thanksgiving because he's going to make some delicious things.
Is he assigned certain dishes?
Well, we're mapping that out right now.
Perfect.
Actually,
Love it.
He made a cheesecake last night, so
okay.
We'll see.
But that's not public knowledge yet.
Not public knowledge. Anyway. And if you were not in senior care, what completely different job do you think that you might be doing? Like, if let's just say money wasn't part of it, what would you?
You know, I love doing so many things that this is another tough question. I have the first master's in social work, but I have a second master's in human resource development, education and human resource development, because I do love staff training and coaching. My mom always says I should have been an engineer. My brain works that way, but it's not like a passion.
Okay.
I really wanted to be a judge, but without being an attorney first.
Sure.
And most judges don't work that way. You have to go into law and be an attorney for a while. So I'm like, too much work. Let me just stay in social work.
Well, there's no room in this room. So if that's what you want to be in this room, then we're all for it. I love that.
Family court law. Let me get some families on the straight line.
There you go. I love that. And last but not least, before we dive in, tell me your favorite local gem. So that could be a food restaurant, a coffee what place in the world right now in Arizona makes you happy?
I love hiking, and
Okay.
I love like the Marcus Landslide Trail out at the Tom Thumb Trailhead is one of my favorites.
Okay.
And another easy one is like the Dragonfly Loop up at Spur Cross.
That's my favorite.
It's so
Jewel
green.
Creek
And Jewel Creek.
Dragonfly.
It's green there, and we just don't see that. So I like those kind of hidden gems.
Yes.
The trails.
If you guys want to hike with us, just message us and we'll schedule it, because that sounds fun. I love it. Okay. So we are talking about senior care today because there's a lot of big elephants in the room as it relates to real estate and transitions. And Michelle is such a wonderful human who with so much knowledge. And so she's a perfect person to talk through a lot of these myths out there around senior housing and assisted living. So let's tackle some of those big ones that we're hearing a lot. So myth number 1, assisted living is only for the very old or sick. So what's the reality of who benefits, and why is it important to plan ahead?
Sure. And that's a great question, because it is absolutely true that people think, oh, I have to really need a lot of help to be in assisted living. There's a connotation of assisted living as kind of the old skilled nursing facilities, those old SNFs. And,
right.
And so they think of people like lined up in chairs in the hallways and drooping and leaning over. And assisted living now is vibrant living that provides help when people need help. It's for anybody who could use some assistance in small areas. Do you not want to, you're not cooking anymore, you need help with maybe just somebody to stand by if you're taking a shower. They don't have to be in the bathroom with you, but you've had some falls, and somebody can sit nearby just in case that you need that extra help. Your eyesight is going and you're worried about messing medications up, and are you taking the right medications at the right time? Assisted living is great for somebody who can just come in and do your medications or check your blood pressure on a regular basis if the doctors are looking for it. Just all of the little things that make living independently a challenge.
Yeah.
And I talk about senior living now, both independent living and assisted living. It's kind of like college campuses for retired people.
Absolutely.
They have restaurants and they have gift shops and they have all of this going on, and depending on where you are, like I was visiting one place and they were having a tennis tournament, and like where I am right now, we have a glee club that's practicing, and they're going to do some holiday concerts for us.
They have an entire calendar of events and activities, and I told my husband, I'm like, I cannot wait till I'm 55. And when we actually came and did the tour of Cave Creek, and I said, can't you wait? Like, I can't wait to be here. And then you told me you actually, we might be able to get people in at 45. And I'm like, well, my husband's there already, so maybe we could get in.
Yeah.
Because that is so fun.
It's so fun. And that's the nice thing is that, and I know we, talk about aging and things like that and what people are asking. And the reality is that every community has a different age requirement.
Sure.
Many are like 52.
Okay.
Some are 55. Some are 62. Some are 65. You have to look at each community to see what's best and what fits. And as we do that, it's like, do you want to go to a place that has a glee club, or do you want to go to a place that has the tennis courts?
Exactly. Who has the best restaurant, or who's making the best cocktails,
or where are your outings to?
Exactly.
I've had folks ask, like, hey, when you guys are taking your shopping outings, is Trader Joe's on your list? Because Trader Joe's is important to them, as opposed to other people want Walmart or Fry's.
If you're in Cave Creek, we actually need a Trader Joe's. I know we're getting Aldi, that's wonderful, but if we could get Trader Joe's, I think we would be set.
It's been requested.
It's on the list, guys. Where's the town of mayor of Cave Creek and Carefree? We need to that. Yeah, that's funny. No, it's so true. And so when families are navigating affordability, insurance, financial planning, a lot of people are like, oh, it's too expensive. And actually, when I talked to you about yours, I was shocked at how not expensive in my eyes it was. So, and there's different bundles.
Different bundles in different places, again, depending on who you're talking to, have different rates. Almost every place has a kind of a base rent rate. And it's finding out what is included in that base rate that is so important. So like our place, electric's included and Wi-Fi, we have internet and cable and a phone. It's all included in that.
That's great.
Other places, you're piecing things out. So figuring out what it is that's included in the base rate. All of our meals are included in the base rate. So when you start to add that up, what happens is you look at that base number and people think, oh my gosh, that's such a huge number.
Right.
But if you think that's mortgage and utilities and food,
yes,
all wrapped into it, even
it's
transportation to and from doctor's appointments is included in a lot of it.
That's huge.
So yeah, yes, the numbers can feel big, but when you line item it out, it's really not.
When you look at your monthly budget, you're like, wow, this is actually this is less than what I've been paying a month, or it's right in line what I've been paying a month.
Exactly.
And some organizations have you buy into living there, and other places it's a month-to-month contract, and there's so many options, which is why I was talking to you about how we need to do this fun little tour thing that we're going to do. I'm going to tease it. That means it's going to happen, guys. It's going to happen.
I talked to my team about it this morning. Good. We're ready.
We're gonna basically do a bus tour for people in our community, Cave Creek, North Scottsdale, on different options and what that looks like, so that we can educate people on, what is available up in our area. So I'm really excited to be putting that together. So if any of you other agents are watching, don't steal my idea. Actually join me so we can be part of it together.
Be it together.
So
yeah. And the other thing to know about affordability too is that it's important for folks to look at everything that they have available to them. Look into the closets and see if you're looking for your parents. Do you have old long-term care policies?
Okay.
Like there's some that were sold in the 80s that might cover assisted living.
That's a good point.
Some even cover the room and board piece of assisted living. It just depends on how the policy was written. Now, those policies aren't available anymore because the companies didn't make the money that they were hoping to on them.
People were living too long.
They're living too long, and they're taking advantage of but in a good way.
Yeah.
Taking advantage of the policies that they paid into. So definitely see if those are an option. If people were vets, there are different options available to vets, and it's important to work with the veterans groups
100%.
That are advocates that will help people figure out what you have access to, what you qualify for.
Yeah. And even All-Tex too. I mean,
All-Tex qualifies.
They do qualify people for housing. So you have to go through the process. Yep. It's very rigorous. Been through it a few times with Grandpa.
Yeah.
But you can get approved for housing, and they will allow you buckets. And some facilities will take that All-Tex money as part of it. So
exactly. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So there are options. And then the other thing is considering, people are selling their houses or things like that. Yeah. We don't need a vehicle anymore. So there's some money in selling vehicles.
Yes.
And there's always concern, how long is a person going to survive? Do we have enough money to survive throughout the course? I don't have the answers. If I did, I wouldn't be sitting here because I'd be really rich and my magic wand would be going off and just making
100%.
Maybe that's my dream job, but I'd be
there. You go.
Worth this.
I love that.
And so it's really important to sit down though and truly take a look at things, and make sure that you know what's available to you based off of all of the information you have. Really dig into your finances and figure that out first.
Yep. And I know we kind of covered this, why early education is so important. So you should not wait till you absolutely have to.
Right.
We kind of touched on it, but just any takeaways, last minute takeaways.
Sure, because in my mind, digging into it means getting your own desires known before you need it.
Yes.
Heaven forbid something happen on your way home, and you're not able to verbalize what you want. Everybody should know and not have to make the decision in the time of an emergency.
Yes.
When there's an emergency, we can't make a good decision.
No, and your loved ones can't either. And I know there's this stigma, especially I've noticed amongst boomers, and I think it's just a generational thing where they don't want to talk about their wishes because they think it's all finance or money related of inheritance, and it's really not. It's really what if something happens? How would you like me to be your advocate? Do you even have an advocate in place? Do you have a POA? Do you have what, because if you have all the what ifs, then there's absolutely no question, and ultimately there's no strain on our economy and in the healthcare system, because so and so's maybe in a hospital bed, and they're we're not sure what to do, and
Right.
if we had all that stuff, it helps. It's a ripple effect, so it helps everybody, including your loved one,
Yeah.
knowing what your wishes are, knowing what your loved one's wishes are.
Right. Because the hospital discharge planners, their job is to get a safe discharge and get people out as soon as possible and open the bed for somebody who needs the medical care. And so how do we prepare for that and know what the options are and not have to do it in a time of crisis?
Yes.
The big thing. The other thing is, if you're a care partner for somebody, especially a married couple is where I see it most often, and my person has dementia, I need to know what the options are, and the kids need to know, or whoever else is going to take care of them, because more than once I've seen the care partner end up in the hospital, and now this person with dementia is at home alone.
Right.
And the kids are like, I'm flying into town. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. If you've visited places and you know what the options are, and say, okay, we know that if they're doing fine right now, but if the care partner has something happen and we need more help, then this is what's going to happen to the other person.
Exactly. And we see that a lot up in the Cave Creek area. I mean, I'm a volunteer at Caring Corps. I just went through training, and we have a lot of neighbors who that's exactly what's happened. Their care partner has become deceased, and they're home alone, but they're still needing some things, and the adult children aren't really sure what to do next. And if just have that plan in place. I can't stress that enough. I mean,
even if it's just that some generalizations. I know I want to go to a place that offers this. I know I don't want to go to a place that has this.
Yes.
And so at least have those wishes noted somewhere. Have a discussion with somebody on the types of things that you're looking for. Because admittedly, if you chose something 10 years ago, the options today are very different.
Yeah, it could change. Or not exist.
Or not exist, right. But at least have some conversations around, if I need something, this is what I'm looking for.
And if you guys need a checklist, I actually prepared one. So if you you or your loved one, or you're the adult child of a loved one, and I have a risk assessment that I have developed for you guys, and I have a checklist of just personal preferences for your loved one. I did that because I needed those things myself for my loved ones, and so I did that for you guys. I think it's really important. I'm certified as a senior real estate specialist because my passion for seniors and making sure they have all the pieces in place is very, very near and dear to my heart. So if you need tools for that, call me. I will get you those tools, because that's what I would like for you guys to have, so that there are no questions. So, all right. So we covered a lot in that. I'm going to transition into some hot questions, because I always like to incorporate what ChatGPT is talking about, because, that's what we're doing these days.
Seems to know some things, right?
Yeah. So I asked ChatGPT, what are people literally Googling when it comes to senior housing in Arizona over the past 2 weeks? Just the past 2 weeks. I'm not going to date our segment because I don't know when this is going to air, but let's just say we're in Q4, Q1, 2026. So what is the average cost of assisted living in Arizona? Do we know?
Last we looked, it was somewhere around $6,000 is kind of a monthly base rate.
Okay.
But it depends on what you're looking for.
Absolutely. It can
fluctuate.
fluctuate.
It's a lot cheaper. Smaller homes tend to be cheaper than larger communities. And it depends on the amenities that are being offered too.
100%.
Somewhere around $6,000, which probably averages anywhere from $2,500 as a base through $12,000.
$15,000. Yeah, I mean, yeah. You want to go live at the V? I mean, that's really nice.
They're really nice places.
It's probably up here. Anyway, great place, great group of people.
Yeah.
We did not talk about this, so I know you'll be really good at answering this question. How does memory care differ from assisted living, and can you have both under one roof?
Sure. Memory care is my passion. It's what I love to do. And you can, and we do have things under one roof very frequently. even in independent living, there are people who have cognitive impairments because aging is the number one risk factor. So being 65 and over, biggest risk factor there is for cognitive impairment. If you do have one, though, go see your doctor. It is not a normal part of aging. And so folks are living together all of the time. Support memory care units.
Sure.
We like to call ours a neighborhood.
There you go.
It's a neighborhood.
It really is, though.
It really is.
Yeah.
I mean, you walk in, it's gorgeous.
Absolutely. Yeah, and it's a big rectangle,
Yes,
so
it's beautiful. You don't feel like you're locked into anything. Like it feels just like a small assisted living.
100%.
And so memory care neighborhoods are secured, which means that the door itself is locked so that the person who has a cognitive impairment cannot walk out unattended. And that's the biggest differentiator for most memory care communities.
Okay.
Is the person able to safely live in assisted living and not wander away, not have any risks as far as, assisted living. We have out laundry detergent so that residents can do their laundry and things like that. In memory care, anything that says keep out of the reach of children is locked.
Okay.
Because we don't want people to
Good to know.
ingest things that are not safe.
All right. Well, then it looks like candy these days anyway.
Right.
So, like, even
really
for
does.
aging people,
Really
even
does.
for people like me, I mean, it looks good. Like,
It looks good. Right. It looks
I
good.
get it.
Now, the other thing to consider, though, and this is where I talk to a lot of families, because we think, oh, my person's fine, they don't need that. The other thing to consider, though, is the social aspect.
Yes.
That if I have a cognitive impairment, if I keep telling the same stories over and over and over again, the healthy 75-year-old gets frustrated with them.
Yeah.
And so if I sit at lunch, imagine you're at lunch with your friends and they tell the same exact story 10 times every meal, every day.
Yeah.
It's frustrating.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so sometimes we need that memory care support for the social aspect. So that the person who has a cognitive impairment has a group around them who's fine with those same stories over and over because it's brand new. And you tell it and they're like, wow, that's hysterical. And the staff's going, yeah, they just said it 3 minutes ago. But it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Because you can find your people.
Yes. And
And
social isolation is the biggest issue with our aging community right now.
Yeah. And so we don't want to look at just is it a safety need,
Sure.
but is there a social need for it too? And I think that I know at Cave Creek Assisted Living, more of our folks are living in our memory care neighborhood because they need that social support. They need the friendships that they can establish, the community that has that cognitive impairment and who doesn't judge.
Right.
Who's fine with it. If there is a day that somebody doesn't feel like taking a shower, nobody sitting at the table is going to say they smell.
Yeah, there you go. I love that. Yeah.
And it's okay.
And it's okay because,
It's okay. So memory care is assisted living with some additional supports.
Yeah. And I was told too, like, let's say you're a couple and both of you really want to be there. A benefit of having assisted living and memory care under the same roof is that, let's say you are going to be in the assisted living portion, but your spouse needs the memory care support. You both get the care you need and you can still be together, essentially.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it lets you then be a partner instead of a caregiver.
Right. And you can still enjoy, the social hours and the outings and the shopping and do the things that assisted living folks do. And then you can still be with your partner in memory care.
Have dinner every day together.
Yeah. And it's like you don't have to, you're right. You're not the caregiver.
Yeah.
Right.
You're not the caregiver. You get to be the partner, the spouse.
All right. That was really great because that is one of the biggest questions people do ask. And what other questions do families ask when touring a facility? What are some of the biggest questions you get that we didn't cover?
It's interesting because when folks tour facilities, we do really well right now because we're brand new.
Yeah.
And people
You're the new shiny toy.
Nice and shiny. And it looks wonderful.
It does.
The thing that you have to look at, though, is are the residents happy? And are the staff happy?
Yeah.
And if those are the two things that really are a lot more telling than is the place pretty?
Sure.
You want it to be clean.
Absolutely.
You want it to not have odors. But also know that if you go into a memory care right after lunch, the likelihood of there being a smell of urine is kind of high because people are all going to their apartments and being changed right after lunch.
Yeah.
And give it an hour and the trash will have been taken out and we're fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so
it's like a nursery though too. I mean,
you have to look for and you have to know that those things kind of come and go. Now you don't want it all of the time.
Sure.
And you want to know that somebody's doing something about it.
Mm-hmm.
And shouldn't be the smell of mold or, rotting food.
Yeah.
Those are
dirty floors.
Right.
Yeah.
So yes, you want everything clean, but more than anything, are the residents clean and well cared for? Are the staff happy? Do you get greeted as you walk in?
That kind of stuff.
The most questions are around finances.
Okay.
Is this included? Is that included?
Sure.
Well, do we have to pay for this? Do we have to pay for that? Understandable that people are concerned about the financial piece of it.
But that's good advice to really look, here are the other things you really should be looking for.
Right. Dig into things. And then the other things that in memory care you need to ask that doesn't get asked enough is, what are the criteria where my person might have to leave here?
Mm.
If the person becomes physically aggressive one day, if they verbally or physically strike at somebody, will they have to move? Or are you going to medicate them for that? And hopefully the answers are no.
Sure.
A lot of times we're talking about staff training, checking for medical conditions. Do we have a urinary tract infection? What's going on? Like what provoked this as opposed to going straight to medications. But under what circumstances will I have to leave?
Yeah.
Should always be a question.
Because I actually personally dealt with that with Grandpa, and we actually had to move around a few times because he was sundowning, which is where at night, all of a sudden he's wide awake because he has no concept of, daytime or nighttime. Sure. And then, he didn't want to be told. He's a grown man. He did not want to be told it was time for bed. He did not want to be told that he couldn't have coffee. Yeah. He did not want to be told that he couldn't eat at 2 a.m.
And my answer to that is, why not?
Yeah. Yeah.
I have people up at 2 a.m. having coffee and sandwiches. Now I'm giving them decaf. I'm not giving people regular.
I did start buying because I finally said, I was like, do you guys even provide decaf? Because maybe if we so I did start bringing decaf, and that made a huge difference.
Right. But there are nights that I'm awake at 2 a.m.
Yeah.
And there's nobody telling me to go back to bed.
Right.
Because I'm an adult.
That's true.
And so if somebody is up at 2 a.m, okay.
Mm-hmm.
The other question to ask if somebody's up at 2 a.m. is, what time did the staff put them to bed?
Yeah, exactly.
Because so often they're like, oh, the night staff's
or they not
up at 2 a.m. Okay, but the PM staff put them to bed at 6. They've had 8 hours of sleep.
They've had 8 hours. or they're letting them sleep all day, which is what was happening too, because it's like they didn't want to deal with him, and so he's asleep all day and he's up all night. So then
he's going to be up all night.
So yeah, there's things like that.
And so those are the questions to ask.
Yeah, I love those questions.
What's going to happen if my person does this?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's good to know. What are the? No, no, we won't get into that.
Another show.
Or another. Yeah, that's for after hours. Straight talk after dark.
That's right.
All right, so now we're gonna have a little bit of fun. Okay, so I've created a game where we're gonna test some common assumptions about senior living. We're going to. It's all about learning, so nobody get offensive or anything like that. We're not laughing at anyone personally, but Michelle, tell us if these next things are true or false, and in some cases, why.
Okay.
So, so scenario 1. We kind of talked about it already, but every facility offers the same services, meals, and activities. True or false?
Absolutely false.
And we went over that, but yeah.
We went over that. And it's important. It's false. And ask for the things that are important to you.
Yes. Yeah. Make the list.
Make the list. What are the activities? I tell people all the time, I want to be able to sit outside with a glass of wine and a book. So if that's something that the answer is no, we don't serve alcohol here, maybe it's not the right place for me.
Right. Yeah.
Yes, I want my glass of wine and a book.
Yeah. And there are places where you can have that.
Absolutely.
100%. Yeah. Moving to assisted living means seniors cannot make choices for themselves. True or false?
It is so false. And yet, in some cases, we have to advocate.
Okay.
I listened at one point in time. I was in a conference, and the founder of Eden Alternative was speaking.
Okay.
And he said that in our country, if you can afford it, you can get any care you want, but too many places make you give up privacy and dignity and independence. And that doesn't have to be true. And so finding the place that will make sure that they are protecting your privacy, even if you say, nope, I'm not worried about it, that they're protecting your dignity, that they're making sure that it's your choices, even when it comes down to what meals is this whole community serving? What activities are we doing here? Are the visiting hours ones where I can get to come and go and my people can come and go as they want?
Yeah.
So it does not have to be that way.
Okay. I love that. Yeah. So again, it's all about the questions that you're going to ask.
Questions you're asking and what you choose. Yes.
All right. So true or false, you can't live with your spouse or your partner.
You absolutely can live with your partner. Now, I have some people who choose not to, and that's okay too. That's okay. They're like, no, we're setting up 2 apartments and we're calling one mine and one his, and we're gonna have our different places, and we're neighbors. That's fine too.
Okay, and I love that.
No, you absolutely can live with your person. And sometimes not even your person. I've got people who've chosen to live with significant others they've met inside the community.
Oh, that's fun. So they're finding their people.
Relationships, you can do that.
We all
too.
need to be loved.
That's right.
There's I love
nothing
that.
Nothing wrong with it.
Well, on that same note, true or false, seniors can bring their pets to live with them in assisted living.
Absolutely.
And so that's true.
That's true. You can bring your pets. The state law in Arizona says that they have to be controlled, so they can't attack other people.
Okay.
They have to have their licensing is appropriate to where they are. So in Maricopa County, you have to be licensed with the county, and you have to have your rabies vaccines.
That's awesome.
Most communities, if they allow pets, have a size limit on the type of pet, and they often require other vaccines other than just the rabies.
Sure. And probably a limit on number of pets.
Usually a little, yeah. We're not
a five
dogs or the cats and the dogs and the turtles and menagerie. But yes, absolutely.
Okay.
You can
I love
into
that.
many assisted livings with pets. It's another question to ask if that's important to you.
That's important. Okay. Yeah, you don't have to give Fido away or take him to the pound or anything like that.
We have a dog living with us right now.
I met
You met Jimmy.
Yeah, he's so cute. Yeah, I had a nice combo with them. They were out front the day that I came to visit you guys, and she's so happy, and her dog's happy.
And their dog treats in my office. If you're ever visiting with your pet, come on in and grab a dog treat from my office.
That's fun. Dog. I love that. Okay, true or false? Tapioca pudding's always on the menu.
Only if people really want it.
Okay. I will say, people like think that assisted living facilities, it's like cafeteria food.
Right. Not at all.
That is some 5-star. You guys have a chef on staff. It is insane, you guys. Like, I want to go eat there for lunch as a restaurant. Like,
it's good.
So good.
It is. It's good food.
Yeah.
And admittedly, there are times that people want that tapioca.
They want it
because it's what they grew up with.
You can have it.
They like. You can have it.
You can have it.
But no, more often it's, if you want dessert, it's cheesecake or berry cobblers or things like that.
I think I had one of those at your opening, and I was like, where in the world did this come from?
I mean,
they handmade it. It's so great.
They do a great job.
They do a great job.
Yeah. And a lot of places will ask their residents, even for things like, hey, what do you want us to do with the meatloaf recipes? And how do you want us to personalize things?
I love that. Or I love that, because then because a lot of people like that familiarity, right? They have their staples. My grandfather did it with pot roast and meatloaf.
Yeah.
And he hated chicken, and they served chicken a lot. And I finally said, why isn't he eating? And they're like, well, we're serving a lot of chicken. So I was like, well, let's. So yeah, it was great that we were able to have that combo.
Like multi-generational workforces, this food is one of the things where we've had to spend more time training staff.
Mm-hmm.
So for instance, the other day we had on the menu, it was turkey or tuna salad with tomato. Now, I'm from the Midwest. So if you're from the Midwest, maybe in other places, it was a tomato, and you kind of cut it open and put a scoop of tuna salad in the tomato.
Oh.
And the kitchen staff is like, I don't know what what are we supposed to do? Why are we putting tomatoes with tuna salad? And I'm like, okay, guys, pull up the Pinterest pictures and let me show you what tuna salad and tomato.
Yes.
And they didn't serve it that way at first. And one of the residents is like, Michelle, no, I'm used to it your way. Can you have the kitchen do it your way next time? I'm like, that's what I'm used to.
That's so funny. But it's so true.
It's regional.
It's cool. I love that. So bringing back
you can have
the boomer
tuna
staples.
Salad and tomatoes if you want it, and you can have tapioca if you want it. We'll get it on the menu, but no, that's not generally every day.
Every day. Okay. All right. And last question. Residents are required to participate in every group activity.
My activities director, my life enrichment director would love if I said yes, but no. And the reality is that in looking for any place, find a place that offers an activity a day that you love to do.
Yes.
We don't design every activity for everybody.
Sure.
But we hope that everybody finds an activity that they do like.
Yes.
And so, and don't expect your person to go to every activity. This is one of the challenges that families have, is they're like, oh, look at this great calendar. My person's going to go to all of these things. And they come in, they're like, well, Mom, why is Mom in her apartment? Okay, well, Mom has been at home alone for the past 15 years. Mm-hmm. And now we're going to wanting her to do 7 things a day.
Right.
Do you do 7 things a day?
Right.
Probably not.
Right.
You choose 1 or 2 things a day that you love to do.
Yep.
And that's what you do even on your weekends and your time off.
Yeah, so just keep it realistic, people.
Be realistic.
Yeah.
Don't expect Mom to start going to everything, and you don't have to go to everything if you don't want to. But activity directors, the life enrichment directors, they're going to encourage you to come to the things you love.
Yeah, 100%. And like you said, there's something for everybody. So,
absolutely.
Yeah. Wow, so many myths. I'm so glad we were able to learn what the truth can be for all of those. So thank you for that. But before we wrap up, Michelle, there's one piece of advice, if there is one piece of advice you want people to walk away with, what would that be?
I guess I should have read this before.
That's okay.
When I think about advice for folks, I think it's that you don't have to settle, and search for the place that fits your needs.
Yes. Because it's out there. Don't give up.
Out there. Don't give up. And don't feel like because your parent hasn't discussed this with you that you can't make a decision for them. Yep. You know the kind of person they are. You know the things they have enjoyed in life. Look for those things that match the personality.
I like that.
And don't give up. It's out there.
It's out there. And don't be even if your loved one lives in Cave Creek and, there's not a facility that meets their needs in Cave Creek, geography doesn't necessarily have to be the decision maker. Right. There could be a facility that meets every need in Gilbert, and so let them go there.
Right.
Let them go there.
Right.
And they may have maybe going to meet new friends. They're gonna do the things they love to do, because at the end of the day, it's the last part of their life. So let them do it. Let them do the things they want to do.
Yeah. I mean, set up for a great retirement. Get the needs that you have met.
Yep.
But find a place that fits you best.
Yeah.
There's always a home out there.
Always. All right. Well, I can't believe that went really fast. I can't believe today's episode is over. Michelle, thank you for sharing all of your insight and myth-busting wisdom with us. Before you leave, can you tell listeners where they can reach you if they want to do a tour at Cave Creek Assisted Living?
Yeah. If they go to www.cavecreekal.com, and you'll find us at 4302 East Lone Mountain Road in Cave Creek. It's just west of Cave Creek Road, north of Tatum. And you can always email info@cavecreekal.com, and we can get you more information as well.
Awesome. And you guys need to go check that place out. I mean, I've been there a few times now, and just learning about everything that they have to offer, and it's right down the street from me. It's off Lone Mountain and Cave Creek Road. So thank you again for being here today. I really appreciate you. I hope we get to do more stuff together.
This is fun. Thank you. Yes.
All right. And to all our listeners, thank you for joining today. If you found this episode helpful, please share it with someone exploring senior housing options. And don't forget to subscribe. You can also follow us on YouTube at Lauren Straight Real Estate for even more content. So until next time, Straight Talk Real Results signing off.